Hello and welcome back. My name is Dave and today we have a nice, fascinating and interesting film. Castle Keep. This is one with Burt Lancaster in, and as you may have just noticed then on the front when I showed you the case. Well done. Very good, Dave. Pat back. But no, it's a very nice film actually. It's very fascinating. It's during World War II. So yeah, I'm starting a World War II playlist now, so every so often you get a World War II film. Just trying to work it in a bit. That piece of information there wasn't really necessary, but could come in useful one day. Major Faulkner is Burt Lancaster in this film. A one-eyed gentleman who is a commander, who is a one-eyed soldier. He's a major in the army, US Army, and he takes his group of men, his tanks, guns, equipment, and all the other things, head towards his castle that's in the Ardennes Forest. That's the Ardennes Forest, which is famously known for Battle of the Bulge, etc., etc., where the Allied forces got surrounded by the German army, and they basically almost got taken out, wiped out completely due to lack of food, medication, and etc. Yeah, so he goes to the castle, and upon the castle arriving, a gentleman walks out. The owner happens to be. He asks, "Can you protect my castle from the advancing German army?" Where the major says, "Yeah, sure, we'll camp up here for a few days, make ourselves known, and then fight a big battle to keep the German army away." And it all goes rather smoothly, as it always happens to do. The Germans approach, and somehow they've got to try and break into a few hundred-year-old castle, which I think is a bit of a risk take. Only reason the Germans are interested in this castle is, well, one, because there's probably American soldiers in there trying to hold it for them, and Germans want what's in it, basically. And what's in it is basically fine pieces of art, so paintings, sculptures, say cutlery, plates, cups, that sort of idea. Nice little castle. Never goes too wrong, really, with the artwork. So you think, yeah, let's go and take it. The battle unfolds and rages on, and it's really quite an interesting turn of events, and really quite interesting how the Germans managed to break into a castle. Alright, there's only one way of getting in there. Well, two ways of getting in there. It's going for the gates, or dropping in by the aircraft. But then the sort of target's quite small, and you got to try and get some troops in there. It's very difficult. But the way the US soldiers go around protecting the castle is quite interesting, and there's quite a few traps as well. And the artillery sort of holds off a bit, and it's very nicely done. I quite like the film as well. It's quite a pretty film. It's quite an interesting film, and yeah, I just think it's quite a fascinating one. It's the way they go around filming it, for one, and how they use the locations. Alright, maybe not all the time. Sometimes it's in the studio, and it's quite obvious you can tell. If you're there on location, it would be such a shame not to keep using it. But yeah, to go back to the studio. The explosion, the gunfire, the uniforms, tanks, as always look fantastic, and it's a really well done film. Acting is really fantastic and very on point as well. The script in it is quite nice, and the way it just unfolds is just a really nice and gentle film to relax to, and to keep your shoes off at a hard day at work and put your feet up, put on the film, and yeah, sort of popcorn sort of type. It's a very good one. Not the one that you misses, maybe, or not one to watch unless you're into these sort of films, but you never know. Anything's possible these days. And I say it's one to add to the collection, if you got one. It's a quite nice film to add. It stands out quite nicely on the case. Not completely for the right reasons, but it's good enough, I suppose. So, Castle Keep, Burt Lancaster and Peter Falk. A nice looking case, bit of a harsh sort of looking one in some ways. You got the rivets at the top here to give it some something's ripped. They got rivets at the bottom there as well. Give away the impression that something's ripped away a bit of sheeting and it's exposed to picture. Not the best way of doing it. I don't think it's the nicest. But I like we got the two main members there, and got some big fire going off, and it makes it look like it's come from the tank sort of thing. It's quite nice, and the German tanks and soldiers. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. So the case is a bit of a bland one, really, but The disc is quite interesting actually. It's quite a contrast to what the rest of the box looks like, and the disc actually has a nice bit of texture to it. It sort of oddly is quite satisfying. There's only a little bit of a ridge there, but it's a nice looking, nice feeling disc, and there's nothing wrong with that. Back again, it's got the same sort of fire and explosions, and got a bit of gunfighting as you usually would get. The American soldiers with their guns, when the camera decides to focus, it'd be extremely nice, useful, quite a bit. Then you got the female at the top there. She's part of it. She's a quite interesting cast member. I'll let you try and decipher who she is and what she does. I can't spoil it all for you. Burt Lancaster, Peter Falk, and Bruce Dern star in his Castle Keep, an extraordinary meddling of war drama, statistic comedy, which is I've not mentioned yet, and heroic action adventure from acclaimed director Sidney Pollack. The Firm. I've not watched The Firm yet. Near the end of World War II, American Major Faulkner, let's see, leads this 8-man squadron. It's strange to have 8-man squadron. Into a perfectly preserved medieval castle in the Ardennes forest. Castle Keep's owner, the Aidan Count servicemen, in hope that they will defend his fortress and his priceless collection of masterpieces from the advancing German troops. But the servicemen have plans of their own. As the German soldiers push forward, a deadly game of possession ensures, leading to a spectacular battle for the castle. I guess another thing I'd like to add as well is that it's quite a comedy aspect as well. A few parts of it is quite funny, but sometimes it ruins it. It's a little bit too funny, and I don't overly enjoy it. But Castle Keep, my dinner's ready. But Castle Keep is quite an extraordinary film. It's got a whole mix of different things: fighting, battles, you know, castles, medievals, a bit of who's going to keep what, separate it out. You get this item, I get this item, 50-50, you know. And a nice bit of comedy here and there throughout the film, which doesn't overly spoil it, but does spoil it in some ways. But it's up to you to decide, so yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Castle Keep's today's recommended film, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.